After a year spent reigniting the fighting game scene on consoles and coin-ops alike, the Street Fighter series is set to go into round 2 with the timely release of Super Street Fighter 4. Packing a slew of new characters, content, and improvements over the original, Super is an update that definitely works the 90s nostalgia built into its name, as well as the stigma. In spite of this, the game is far from a soulless cash-in. Super Street Fighter 4 is a thoughtfully compiled and thoroughly addictive package that reminds you precisely why the series is still king of the streets.
What have we here? Didn't expect you to come after me yourself. I'd have thought a supervillain would have sent his henchmen instead.
While there isn't anything particularly broken about the original, Super Street Fighter 4 does what it can to bring the experience just this much closer to a fighting game fanboy's wet dream. In service of this, the game's largest contribution comes in the form of 10 new characters, handpicked from every corner of the Street Fighter multiverse. Alpha regulars Guy, Cody, and Add-on are among the new characters to join the battle, while the 2 remaining Super Turbo veterans, T-Hawk and DJ, make their long-awaited return. There's even some love for fan favorites Makoto, Ibuki, and the gentlemanly Dudley, who make smooth transitions from Third Strike. At the top of the heap are all new characters Juri, a foxy Taekwondo practitioner with one hell of a dropkick, and Hakan, a Turkish oil wrestler who brings a crazy look and an even crazier fighting style to the fray. Swelling up to an impressive roster of 35 characters, Super Street Fighter 4 is one of the series' largest games to date. If by chance your favorite fighter still hasn't made the cut, you'll be hard-pressed to rifle through the lineup of new characters and not find one to suit your tastes. Though it's clear that Super Street Fighter 4's focus rests on bringing more to the game, it's interesting to see a few of the original's features get cut along the way, namely the less-played survival and time trial challenge modes. In their place are amusing 3D remixes of the classic barrel and car-crushing bonus stages, which you can also encounter by playing through the game's redone arcade mode. The new set of anime cutscenes aren't much better than the ones featured in the original, but you'll definitely get a kick out of the new stages and remixed character themes. The returning trial mode deals out its lessons with a bit of tough love, opting out of formal tutorials in lieu of cryptic combo lists. Your hard-fought pursuit of knowledge isn't as constrained this time, however, as you're able to tackle any character's trials in the order you wish. Equally as unrestrained is Super's position on unlocking content. You'll get additional taunts and costume colors simply for playing with your favorite character, and all of the game's 35 fighters are available right from the start, eliminating the tedious unlocking process present in the first. Perhaps the biggest improvement from the first game, however, is Super Street Fighter's upgraded network features, which bring a more arcade-faithful flavor to the game's online suite, with modes like spectator-style quarter matches. The addition of replays lets you record, download, and share matches all over the world, while a free future DLC update promises the ability to host 8-player tournaments in the comfort of your own home. All told, Super Street Fighter 4 is a game that simply wants to be played. Every change or addition simply makes it easier to get into the game and immediately start having some fun. While there's still some room for adjustment, especially in the case of the occasionally laggy network matchup, Super Street Fighter 4 has got its selection of modes and content down to a sweet science.
Well then, let's begin.
Much like the original, Super Street Fighter 4 is a return to the classic foundations of the 2D fighting game, and this installment doesn't do much to change any of the existing mechanics or systems that you've become accustomed to. Expect to employ your full arsenal of combos, special moves, focus attacks, and most of all your almighty ultras to snatch victory from the hands of your opponents.
Sorry!
What Super Street Fighter 4 adds to the formula is a second Ultra, which you select before the start of each match. Given that most strategies are built on landing these highly damaging moves, the introduction of these new ones introduces a good number of variables to play around with as you approach each match. A select few characters, however, seem better off sticking to the originals, especially in the case of the new Counter Ultras, which almost never seem to work in your favor. Beyond that, Super Street Fighter 4 delves into a thorough balance check of every character, old and new. The changes are perhaps invisible to all but the trained eye, but you'll definitely take notice when Sagat's fearsome tiger uppercuts feel a little bit more muzzled than they did before. That isn't to say, however, that your favorite characters have likely gotten the shaft. you'll find that many of Street Fighter IV's strongest contenders are still, in their own right, forces to be reckoned with. A year after the original game's launch, it's become clear that Capcom definitely went in a good direction when updating Street Fighter IV's core mechanics. As a follow-up, Super Street Fighter IV demonstrates the strength of that fundamental design well. It definitely serves as a complement to the system when seasoned vets and absolute beginners find equal comfort with the game's classic take on 2D fighting. Even more so when the two meet and still manage to have a good time. Whether you're honing that focus attack dash cancel or learning how to link for the first time, Super Street Fighter IV is an undeniable paragon in the genre. Aside from a cascade of new menu art, character portraits, and UI renovations, Super Street Fighter IV largely sports the same polished look of the first game. The game's clean animations, detailed facial expressions, and creatively rendered 3D models still hold up well under scrutiny, and the new fighters fit in right with the series' unique look. While nothing truly new and mind-blowing sticks out, some especially well-animated ultras, like Ryu's gut-wrenching Metsu Shoryuken, are clear reminders why this game couldn't work in anything but 3D. The new anime cutscenes are amusing to watch the first time through, but like the ones in the first game, they're largely forgettable.
The world is simply what it is.
The bigger treat lies in the game's retooled soundtrack, which gives each character's unique remixed themes some much-deserved attention through an unlockable option in the sound menu. It's a small but definitely welcome touch that brings the ambiance of each character scuffle closer to the feel of a classic Street Fighter match. Sadly though, we're still looking for where they hid Indestructible. With an expansive cast, upgraded features, and extremely strong online support, it's hard for Super Street Fighter IV to not track on any fighting fan's radar. But even at a reduced price, reluctance to drop cash on this sophomore effort is certainly understandable. Penny-pinching pugilists may give pause, but let your fears be dissuaded. Super Street Fighter IV is worth every single cent.